Yeah, this is the new one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know that song, you know what it means. That means it is the weekend, and that it is time for the James Freel Show. I am your host, James Freel, and as always, like I say every week, I am very happy to have you with me. Yeah, I'm sorry this episode's running itself a little bit late, but, I'm not going to break the streak. I'm still gonna make sure that the show itself keeps on rolling along. So anyway, how y'all doing? You doing well? You doing alright? I'm doing alright. It's the first episode of the new year. How do you feel about that? I think that's a good thing. Do you think it's gonna be a good year? Do you think it's going to be 2019 all over, 2018 all over again? Or are we going to repeat the 2019 New Year's? Who knows? Who knows? Man, can you believe that the year 2009 was a decade ago? How crazy is that? It's even crazier to me is that 1999 was 20 years ago. It feels like it should be 2009 right now. And that 1999 should be 20 years ago, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I know on paper it really doesn't, but in spirit it really does. I think it does. But hey, that's just me. Alright. So, before we jump into the rambling of this show, let's get in to the section that you all know about, that you've become familiar with. It's the news for the uninformed. And as always, I do not have it prepared the way I used to. Look at that. Trump, not much headway made in Saturday shutdown talks. So the government is still shut down. Trump's tweets on campaign finance cases doesn't tell a full story. Well, not sure what that means. Alright, that's all the information you're getting from the top story. Let's move on to sports. It's wild card weekend, folks. The Colts taking on the Indianapolis Colts, that is, taking on the Houston Texans. And at the time that I'm recording this, I already know that the Indianapolis Colts defeated the Houston Texans, which is good for me because they are the Steelers of the AFC South, in my humble opinion. It's kind of funny that the Bengals are more south than the Colts are, and yet the Bengals are in the AFC North and the Colts are in the AFC South. Also, and I'm watching it as we speak, we are 11 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Seattle Seahawks. Who's going to win right now? The Cowboys are up 3-0. Oh, it was 2nd and 13, and Zeke Elliott got stuffed at the line. Who will win this defensive battle? We've assumed a low-scoring game. Alright, and I gotta pull my cell phone out for top pop culture stories, because top pop culture news today, pop culture stories, it's 3rd and 12. Let's see what's gonna happen. Dak, oh, there's a little bit of movement on the line, but no flag thrown. Oh, and now there is a flag thrown, and it's gonna be a false start against the Dallas Cowboys. These Instagram playgrounds are taking over U.S. cities. I don't know about that. But Ethan Klein released a drama alert video against Jake Paul and Rice Gum, and that was rather amusing. I watched that last night. Oh, come on. The defense jumped first. That is, I strongly disagree with that call, especially because I'm wearing the jersey of the team that they called it against. What's up with that? Alright. It's about all the pop culture news that you're going to get from me. All right, 3rd and 17. Dak drops back. He's scrambling. He's under heavy pressure. He drops it off to Zeke. Zeke is going to be shut down well short of the first down. It's going to be about 4th and 8. All right, that's an okay estimation from me. Okay, so my top story that I'm going to give here. I'm done working at the hospital. And to be clear, I did not get fired from the hospital. My co-op was simply completed. So I'm done there. There's like I would say a 91% chance that I am. Oh, excuse me. Normally, a good, competent podcaster would have hit the pause button right there. But not this guy. Not this guy. So yeah, I just came to a completion. And 91% chance I would say that I will not be back. There still is that 9% chance that I will be back. We're just gonna have to see how it goes. I gotta say, it is a little bit funny how well our minds adjust to the percentage of 100, because 100 just sort of seems like an arbitrary number. But maybe that's just me overthinking stuff. I've been cleaning out my room this evening. Today is a Saturday. I'm recording it late. You should know that based on the score of the football game right now. Commercials are on, so I'm not commenting on it. If I'm ever listening to this in the future, I can probably bring up a recording of the game and excuse me, can give a decent correlation of what I'm commenting and what's on the screen. So, I gotta say, I am unapologetically pretty addicted to the video game Red Dead Redemption 2 this week. It's been a lot of fun. I think the game catches on to what your behavior is. Because for a while there, I wanted my honor to be high, but then I realized, whoa, if you're to constantly hijack these horses, there's a bunch of money in there. And, you just wind up doing that a lot, but I've consistently been doing it, and there hasn't been a whole lot of money in there. I tell you what, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, Fox Wildcard Weekend, we're only about 25 plus 12. We're only about 37% of the way through this Wildcard Weekend, and I still gotta say, I'm not quite impressed with it. I've just been wasting a lot of time playing that video game. Russell Wilson, play action. Oh, and he connects with number 84 down the sideline. That's going to be about a 16-yard gain down to the 51-yard line. All right. If I keep doing this, I'm pretty sure that my podcast could be taken down, because this is definitely at least some sort of account of the game. And you know what they say? Any recordings, copies, or accounts of the game are strictly prohibited. Jeez, this Dallas defense is letting up some points. That's about a 38-yard gain by the Seattle Seahawks with about 9 minutes left in the second quarter. All right, okay. That's all I got to say about that video game. It's a lot of fun. Geez, they left number 16 pretty wide open. I'm excited about the wide receiver position being, how do I want to put this? The numbers of I always thought when I was younger, all wide receivers needed to be between number 80 and 89 and nothing else. And now it seems as though wide receivers are breaking into the numbers 11 through 19, as well as 80 through 89. I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, it's different every week, on this show at least. But it's different every year. All right, what are we gonna have happen? Russell Wilson from the 9-yard line, 2nd and 6. He can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Technically, he's gonna hand it off to his right, and the Cowboys are gonna stop them right around the yard of scrimmage. He may have picked up one, but it's gonna be 3rd and 6. And we call right here. I think it's going to be a field goal. I think they're gonna tie it up here. So, moving on from talking about how I've enjoyed the game Red Dead Redemption 2, that is. That's a big thing in pop culture right now, by the way. That's something that a lot of people are into at the moment. How long am I? Geez, only 11 minutes, and that's alright, though. So, I have always assumed that I have never been able to grow a beard. This is me, James Freel, talking. And they're going to drop it off and it's going to be incomplete. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that I've never been able to grow a beard. And I'd say for the past 3-4 years, I've sort of just accepted that was the case with me. Good old James Freel. You know, when it comes to the facial hair game, he just can't get it done. That's embarrassing. If you haven't noticed already, this is a drunk episode of the James Freel Show. But, you know, I'll probably regret it. Excuse me. Isn't that in China or something that belching is like a sign of respect or like a compliment? He did a good job cooking. Yeah, I definitely waited till the last minute to get this show done because I'm looking down and hoping that it's like, oh, you're almost done, but I'm not missing a week. So anyway, like I was saying, I always accepted the fact that I never really accepted that I couldn't grow. No, I accepted that I just couldn't grow a beard. And when I thought about it, it's like, okay, well, what's the longest I've ever waited? Normally it just gets itchy, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to accept the fact that I can't, and it's not worth it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. I've never really gone, let's say over the past 5-6 years, more than 2 or 3 weeks, rarely even more than 1, without giving my face a good old shave there. So I'm just going to go until the end of February. Because what is today? Today is, I want to say it's the 5th? It's either the 5th or the 6th. What is it? It's the 5th. Alright, cool. So, a lot of times actually going slower than I thought it was. I'm just assuming too much. Yeah, it's the 6th. I've already got a good amount of scruff going, but I've always assumed that that's the extent of what I can get. So I'm just going to leave it until the end of February and see how it looks. In some cases, I think it looks good depending on the lighting. Sometimes I think it looks really bad. We're just going to have to wait and see and decide from that angle. Alright, so moving on. What else do I got to talk about? So, last night, I went to a fancy schmancy restaurant in downtown Cincinnati, home of the FC Cincinnati Club, the Cincinnati Reds, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, that was a Freudian slip, and the reason I said it was because, look at that, they showed Dandy Don Meredith, Troy Aikman, and Roger Staubach. Troy Aikman, Don Meredith. Oh, those guys took over a great amount of time. There's a Freudian slip because I made a joke about the Steelers. There's this dude who's like a Steelers fan, and a Reds fan, and that annoyed me. But anyway, there was this steakhouse downtown, and I will say, it was the best steak that I ever had. But my problem with it was priced. Oh. Excuse me. It was priced 150% that of. I paid for 150% of the best steak I've ever had, if that makes any sense at all. I went there with my special lady friend, who will be my wife this year. We're starting a new year, and 2019 will be the year that I get engaged. It's not engaged, married. There's an incomplete pass, but a flag was thrown on the field. Oh boy, this is definitely going to be the year, the episode that I regret more than any other. But here on the James Freel Show, you win some, you lose some. Alright, what do we got? What are the hand motions? We got a hand pointed out, and it's against the defense. Alright, go Dallas Cowboys, go. I'm just sort of rambling on this show, and I'm not really contributing. Does anyone really find this shit in... Oh, jeez, I try not to swear too much. But then again, there I just did. A buddy of mine, who is not going to be back in any time soon, left a bottle of gin here, and was almost gone. And, I leave stuff at his place that he finishes off, so I see no problem in me finishing off stuff that he leaves here. Where am I going with this? So I had last night at the steakhouse, they had 2 tiers of beef. One of them was like this hipster bread from a hipster bread butcher shop, and that was the expensive stuff. And go, Amari Cooper. There you go. Keep running. I hope there's not a flag on the field, and I don't see any, so there we go. Then the other stuff was like just the standard Angus beef stuff, and I ordered from that brand because I did not want to order from, I budgeted for this meal. We got an appetizer, we got dessert, we got an amazing main course, and I did not want to, there was a certain bracket I didn't want to take. If I were to order one of those fancy steaks, I would have wound up spending 66% of the meal. Go Zeke. There we go. Zeke picks up a first down. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But I got a New York strip. It was 14 ounces. Already ordered it medium rare. And, I'm thinking back in the day, I think you had to order your steaks either rare, medium, or well done. And those were your only 3 options. Nowadays, you got rare, medium, medium well, and well done. And for a while, when I was a kid, I would order medium well. And oftentimes when I do go to steakhouses, I don't want crazy bloody. But at the steakhouse, normally if I go to like one of those chain steakhouses, I'll order it medium. I'll just order it medium. Because the way I see it at that place, then Dak Prescott's going to take a sack. At a place like that, they can always throw the piece of meat back onto the grill, but they can't uncook it. So they're always going to cook it on the rarer side. They're going to undercook it as much as they can. At least that's how I've perceived a place like that. But last night, this wasn't a chain. This was like a steakhouse in the downtown scene. The business manager of this area is taking a total risk because it could be totally easy. You gotta imagine the property taxes. You gotta imagine, just the rent of the building, whoever owns it. Go Zeke. Oh wow, he's gonna pick up more than I thought. They're probably gonna wind up. They might go for it here. It's about 8 yards to go from the 38-yard line. Let's see, 38 plus 17, 48. 55. I don't know. I think that's too close to punt. I think they should go for it. Let's see what they do. But anyway, they're gonna go for the field goal. This guy's got the same last name as Bill Maher. He's Brett Maher. Can you imagine Bill Maher all padded up? 58 yards. Let's see if he's gonna make it. You're in a dome. You got no excuse. The snap is good. The field goal, it's gonna go wide left. No good. At least from the perception of the... Yeah, it's gonna miss it. Alright, but anyway, my steak was good, and like I said, it was the best steak I've ever ate, but it wasn't the best value I've ever had. The glass of wine, we both got glasses of wine, we got entrees, we got dessert. That was the most expensive meal I ever paid for. I gotta say, I'm not disappointed. I'm a little disappointed with how it went. But, it's wild card weekend. What are you complaining about? Alright, how much time is left here? What time is it? It's 21:02. Alright, we're chugging along here. We're chugging along here on the James Freel show. Okay, so we talked about the steakhouse. Alright, so I had a good, I don't host a lot of social gatherings, but I did this week. I had a weird week because New Year's Eve was on a Monday, New Year's Day was on a Tuesday. Turned up a little too much on New Year's Eve, I will say that. And also my Cincinnati Bengals, they played the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, like always, they held in for a while. I'm pretty sure this has been the case the past 3 years because they had that heartbreaking playoff loss. They lost the game prior to that playoff loss because that was the game that Andy Dalton got injured. So 1-2 that year. The last time they won was the first time they met that year. So 2, and then the year after that they got swept. The year after that they got swept. And the year after that, they got swept. So they've lost 8 games in a row to the Steelers. And I'm pretty positive throughout the entire, I'm pretty sure all 8 of those games, it was always a close game. It was never a blowout. And that's just how it is. And I tweeted the other day on my real account, not the James Freel account, just that, I hate this movie. And yet I choose to watch it twice a year because, picked off Ben Roethlisberger for pick 6 that game. You win some, you lose some. Oh, look at that. There's a Seattle fan with a 12th man flag going on. Brett Maher missed that field goal. 9 combined possessions, 6 punts, 2 field goals, 1 missed field goals. Alright, boys, let's just hold them to... Alright, what do we got here? Russell Wilson rolls out to the left. What's going to happen? Oh, and he completes it for about a 4-yard gain. If that's one legit criticism of Jason Garrett, is he does seem to clap a lot. Anyway. We did host a New Year's Eve party. And in my humblest opinions, I do think it was a decent party. Played board games. I had 6 guests, not including my special lady friend. And even my brother and his lady friend showed up. So at one point there was 10 people over. And I'm not used to entertaining that number of people. Russell Wilson drops it off. Oh my goodness, look at that catch. So it looks like we're going to go into halftime, probably 6-3. The clock continues to tick. Part of me wants to pause this so that I can commentate on the last game, because this has sort of been the, they going to challenge it, get that challenge off before it happens? They snapped the ball too late, but they tackle the running back for a major loss. Alright. Back in the day, I had, it really wasn't the best of parties, because, I invited people who were very different in opinions. I think they're commenting on whether the knee's down, so 1 knee is equal to 2 feet. Fair enough. 2nd and 14. I think they're going to hit the 2-minute warning. Alright, how much time do we got left now? 5 minutes left. We did not... I did not rate myself on whether last week was a win or a loss. And for that, had I been rating it in the moment, I probably would have given myself a tie. But because I'm doing it in retrospect, I'm going to make it a loss. So right now, I'm 2-1-1. And this episode's already a loss. There's just no help. So by the end of this, I'm going to be 2-2-1. But, that's still plenty of run. I'm pretty sure the Steelers were 2-2-1 at one point. And they wound up missing the playoffs. So we'll see how that winds up. I don't know. Like I said, Red Dead Redemption is really good. I loaned someone my interface, and I'm also going through some of the books on my shelf. And after this, I will be making sure. Wow, they're still showing. That's what I should have talked about in sports. Is all the Drama Alert Nation with Antonio Brown. He's crying about how he wants to be traded, and quite frankly, I think that's hilarious. Good for him. Hope he gets traded. He does seem like a drama queen. Alright, well, since I've already put this one down as a loss, I think I'm going to go ahead and... Because like I said, there's no one out there listening to this. I think you're getting a short one this week. I'm not going to edit it any further. I've already got the sound mix thing that I use the same one every week. I'll just drop this in between it, and we will see how this goes. I'm watching a lot of the Andy Griffith Show this week. There's that episode with the moonshine, or it's alcohol and old lace, because the two elderly women are the ones selling the alcohol instead of old lace. Well, would you look at that? The inside sticker of this is of London. No, I'm going to give you your full episode. Changed my mind already. Otis is there, and he's like, "We town drunks live by a code." Yeah. What does Otis do for income on the Andy Griffith Show? What the heck does he do? And what the hell is Roger Goodell doing? Who's that sitting with him? I don't know. Oh, jeez. Oh, shoot. Yeah, well. I gotta say, I'm gonna finish this one. This has been a horrible episode. In fact, part of me wants to take away a win from this, so it can be 1-2-1. You also get the loss in there, but that's just not gonna work out. What does Otis do for money on the Andy Griffith Show? What's up with that? One of my friends had a really funny Facebook status the other night, where because Marvin Lewis got fired. That's something that I should have mentioned. This is the week, and I will always remember it. And the Bengals Facebook page released a very emotional, and this is why I need to prep for these, because it was a really, really good video. I should have talked about it more, but I'm always gonna remember the day I found out Marvin Lewis got fired, because as long as I've been a football fan, I have always known Marvin Lewis to be the coach of my Cincinnati Bengals. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Please don't hire Hugh Jackson. I get it confused. Jackman or Jackson? Jackman's the actor, I think. Alright. Let's just see what happens to the Bengals. They're going to exist in the next season. We'll just have to see. So that's going to be this week's episode of the James Freel Show. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a loss. I'm 2-2-1. Let's see if we can get a comeback. We'll be 3-2-1 next week. Alright, folks. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
With the